Here's a nice lady. She's checking to see if she should pick up the cock that she dropped from her dog, or if she should just leave it and save a bag because no one's watching. Here's a beautiful cherry. Just came off the tree. Unbelievable. Can I show it to you? Nope, can't show it. Mamish fresh. Let's see if the lady Taka picked up the cock or she only made believe. Oh, that sucks, man. That sucks. Look what she did. She left the poop in the garden. That's so unfair. Let's go chase her down and tell her. That's so unfair. You left the poop in the garden. I would never do that to you.
Really?
Yeah, that fresh poop that you just left out, I would never.
It's really small.
And I would. It was this big. It's this big. I'll clean it up, but if you don't tell me I can't clean it up, I step in it. I don't mind cleaning it up.
No,
but if you don't tell us, if you just sneak like that, we'll never be able to have a chance to even clean it up.
When I looked at
It was this big. It was this big, and you said it was small to try to fool me. That's dishonest after what you did. And there's a cop right there, and it's a big fine. It's $900.
Freddie, I'll happily go back right now.
That was cool that there was a police, because they usually never have police. And there's poop every morning, and you're like, who does it? Who does it? Yeah, I want to know who does it. I'm so angry. Finally you have it, you find out who it is. At least there's a face to the picture. You have, there's a human face. You know you did it? It's disgusting. I would clean it up after you. And then she's like, I'll happily go back, because of course there's a police. So that's what the police are for. Police are there so people behave better. It's not for mamish criminals. It's for people that they're nice people, but they just leave cock in your yard, in your house, and then they go, it's a small piece of poop. Typical, like. So anyway, back to the Sheni. Hi. Back to the Sheni v'Chamishi about the. So there's a young man. He asks me, why are you wearing a yechi yarmulke? You're making fun of the Rebbe. The Rebbe was never about the yechi. It was all fabricated by whoever. The Rebbe is not guilty of it at all, you know. And I didn't know that. I saw the yechi as people's belief. They could believe in the Rebbetzin if they want. There were guys in Tzfas that would say that the Rebbetzin is atzmutit umuhutit, you know. It's they have the right to believe in whatever they want. You know, some Mormons are converting Jews post-mortem. Dead people, they take your name, they make you into a Mormon because they want to save you. So they could turn. Look at Yoshke, for example. He was a poor guy that got hung up, and then he turned into a messiah for the Christians. He can't come back from the grave and stop it, right? And he probably had nothing to do with it. A lot of these things that they say he said a fisherman in the Galilee never wrote a polished Greek, so we know that Yoshke could have never said that. But I'm still curious to see the Rebbe's Sichos to know what is the basis for the claim that the Rebbe had nothing to do with it. But I didn't look at it that way. I looked at it like a persecuted group of people who were already indoctrinated, and they have nothing better, and they don't know better. They don't have a better faith. They can't have faith in evidence or faith in human reason and predictability, because they've never had even an introduction to that there is a world out there that works by reasoning. And then I said, okay, and then I said, okay, he says, no, they're not the persecuted, they're not the nirdafim, they're the roidfim, they're the ones that are persecuting others. They're pushing it in the education system and everywhere they go. They're pushing it on little children, which is the best example of dishonest education. You're pushing it on kids. Birchas Yechi HaMelech, b'seiris tevos Yechi HaMelech HaMoshiach. And they target the impoverished. They always target the weak. They never target the sophisticated. And yes, it started out, even in Chabad in the early, right after Gimel Tammuz, it started out as a group of, also, it was both. It wasn't black and white. There were the persecuted, and then there was the ones who were Perkei Oil, like Yeshaya Broin, after Morozov upstairs in 770, gave a beautiful speech about how Yechi has to be put on hold. And he said, you're shoylo the ganze inyan from Yechi when you say it after Gimel Tammuz. And right after his speech, like every speech, was followed by Yechi, so Shaya Broin blasted a nice Yechi Adonai Ne'emen Rabbeinu Melech HaMashiach, and he got a lot of credit for being a chevraman. It started out as a Prikas Oil movement, but you have to understand, inside Crown Heights, they are the persecutors. Outside, they're the ones that are persecuted. You have lots of gullible people who follow this idea. That's the only thing they know. The Rebbe didn't leave anything. Some avoda, some about some haskalah, which people can't relate to. So they look at him like a magical figure. Of course, this follows whether the Rebbe even eluded or pretended that he had some magical powers, and being closer to him gave you some benefit over being closer to any other great Torah leader or Hasidic master. So, or it was just one big scam, maybe. But I don't want to hurt anybody, and I said something maybe a little nasty about Dudi Farkash being fat, and he said it's an offense to someone who's fat. I have the best fans that are, some of them are overweight, and I would never laugh at anybody on that account. However, and of course I'm sorry if anybody has ever hurt in any case, we're talking about bad ideas, and the bad idea was that you brought someone from a very strange part of town, okay? You brought him from Israel, based on the fact that he's a Lubavitcher, which is the easiest thing to get in, because all you have to do is, you know, it's easy. There's no IQ test, and there's no actual. They don't even test your character. Are you abusive? Are you Yadai Midei Esav? The Rebbe was very, very straightforward about what he thought about Yadai Midei Esav, right? So you brought that garbage into Crown Heights, and you put that guy up in camp as a counselor alone with kids, and he physically and cruelly abused me for no reason. I had nothing to do with him. When I saw him, I saw a big truck of a guy from a foreign country. As Sully Selwyn used to say to us, I don't talk to strange-looking guys. He was a British counselor, very good guy with his whole. He really meant it. British Bichlal were very into chinuch and education, so he really meant it with his whole heart. And then side by side, just because the guy was considered a Lubavitcher, which is the easiest label to stick on, he, you know, from London to Jerusalem, to Mea Shadim, to one of the back streets, you know, it's a big stone's throw, a great stone's throw, far. And when I saw that strange-looking guy, I kept away from him. But when you're coming off the Delaware River and you're looking for a rock and a landing, and you need to, you know, and there's a big current and a raft, and you get up and you're taking water out of your shoe, and then you find this big refrigerator guy who's strange enough mentally, who's abusive. So yeah, I hope I didn't go off the line there and say something that is tied to a lot of nasty society garbage of persecuting people based on something that's not always they're in control of, and even if they are in control of, they're hurting no one. So very unfortunate. And I hope I wasn't part of that in any way, even in the slightest, even saying the word. Yeah. So I hope that wraps up. I hope it wraps up the Inyan. Thank you for watching, and I hope the lady cleaned up the poop.